we're here to help people. And
Right.
this 9/15 deadline is something that's out of your control, my control. It's been a deadline since I can remember. If
Right.
you're not picking up the phone and keeping your tax advisor, your financial advisor in the loop, there is nothing we can do. These huge income swings based
Right.
on something you're taking advantage of, it comes with handcuffs.
Yeah.
You don't just get to walk in and say, okay, great, I'm going to wipe $300,000 off my income this year. You can. There's rules.
Right.
The IRS expects you to be a diligent taxpayer and pay them as you make your money.
Welcome back to AFG Update. We are going to start doing these more regularly. So Chelsea will be joining us for more regular episodes as we change the name. Troy's going to work with the contractor to get the new build out started. I think we have a date in a couple weeks where some walls will be coming down and some fun things will be happening here. So we'll be posting pictures
Oh, cool.
all
That'll be
over
good.
and doing some updates. And I know Kelsey will be doing some social media updates with the progress of what's going on. But the contractor was here today.
Did you design this?
Troy did.
Troy just said,
Yeah.
oh, did the
So
build out. I love
he
it.
did.
Good.
So it looks really cool. We're really excited for what it's going to look like. And like I said, probably like 3-4 weeks out, we'll have our brand new studio.
Okay.
So
Troy, are you talking today with us? Are you on this?
Yeah, my mic's live.
Okay, so how did you get the idea for the design?
It just came to me, you know.
Brilliance is born.
you were his
Sorry.
muse.
Yeah. Oh God. I wish. Okay, so how many seats are we looking at in the new studio?
3 to 4 new
Okay.
seats. That way we can have a little more involvement from the advisors and their clients.
Okay, we're getting clients in.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we're going to have more interaction. So we'll have our show. That's us kind of every couple weeks coming in, doing current events. I think today's show is really relevant. I mean, we're coming up on tax filing deadline and talking about not just that, but some retirement things and really just kind of like being proactive versus procrastinating in general and how fun that can be in our business.
Well, I appreciate it because, again, we're here to help people. And
Right.
this 9/15 deadline is something that's out of your control, my control. It's been a deadline since I can remember, since I've been in the business. So, again, we want to help people and we have to adhere to these dates. And people come to us and it's like we can't work backwards and help you guys all the time. We have to know in advance what we're doing and get people into our offices timely. So the onus is on our clients to come to us and let us know what's going on in their lives so we can help them. We get a lot of people that show up last minute and they're like, hey, so sorry. I know I'm getting this to you late, but can I have it tomorrow? It's like, yeah, you can, but I can't give you half of the bells and whistles I could have if you were to show up to my office a month ago.
Right.
So 9/15 is pretty crazy right now with the business deadline for federal taxes. So
Yeah.
dealing with all that right now.
Yeah. So no better time to film this, right?
I know. I've got tons of time. No, it's been fine. I mean, I was saying to you earlier, I even told people I'm going to check in Saturday. I'm going to check in Sunday. Deadline's Monday. All good. Take your time. What can you do? You send an email out, you ask your questions, and
Right.
what can you do? People have lives, so I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why do you think most people procrastinate? Like, why do you think that we just get up to this deadline and we don't take action before?
Couple things. I'll start with this one. A lot of people are still just scared of taxes. I think a lot of people, the day you had your first job, you've been filing a tax return.
Right.
But since that time, it's just, for some people, it's just scared the crap out of them. They're not familiar with it. They don't know what the tax advisor is looking for. They don't know the things that we need to help them. Maybe because it also wasn't just an open discussion with their families, like they weren't used to coming and paying taxes, or no, like dad never talked to me about how to do my financial plan and my
Right.
tax prep. So I think a lot of people just are scared of it. And the 9/15 deadline again is for the business clients. So those guys, you've got bookkeeping, you need payroll reports, you need to have 1099s issued months ago at this point. It's just a lot of different areas that all have to come together for the final picture, right? And that is the tax return. So I think it's overwhelming to a lot of people. Just knowing they have to pay the IRS in general. It just scares people. They're just
Right.
not familiar with it. And I love doing my best to tell people, hey, you're doing it good. Everything's fine.
Right.
You're doing a good job. For next year, or hey, it's September 2025, so we're going to have this same conversation 5 months from now. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Let's start looking at your 2025 books and getting things organized. Like, hey, we're having this problem today. You're probably going to have it next year.
Right.
Like, let's get some notes going. Let's look back. You're sitting down. You're getting me everything I need for 2024. I really appreciate it. Let's start getting 25 cleaned up.
Yeah.
So you're good because you're doing a great job.
Right.
And just trying to make it not so intimidating, I guess. But yeah, I think people, and then I'm pretty repetitive on this podcast, so I apologize. But again, you're wearing 13 hats
Right.
in the business owner world. And, it's kind of a domino effect too. If you're struggling to keep good books and keep good financial records of what you did through the year, I mean, that's just going to domino effect and you struggling getting all the information that we need together. And unfortunately, it's only at your expense. What you report to the tax advisor, to your CPA, that's what they're getting, right? They're doing, we can be intuitive in our process and say, hey, you had this last year, or hey, I see this big number here. This would lead me to ask you this question. Are we missing something here based on this purchase?
Right.
So there is a lot of I guess just like intuitive look back on people's financials, but we don't have a crystal ball. We don't follow you day by day. I don't know what you're doing with your life. You need to call or pick up the phone and call and let us know when you have a change. And if that individual or that business owner isn't sitting down monthly and allowing themselves that time to say, make a note, this happened this month, they're never going to relay it to us. And to ask someone who's got a million things going on, to ask them on September 10th, 2025, hey, what happened to you in 2024? That's tough. And I don't expect people to remember.
Yeah, and I think we're as much, I don't want to say part of the problem, because we're always putting clients ahead of ourselves. But I mean, today you called me about stuff with my thing. We spend a lot of time together. We've worked together for years on the accounting side, and you're like, how do you track this, or how do you do this? And it's funny because I think in some cases we're always putting our clients first and making sure that they get their stuff done, but it's then like the shoemaker's kids are walking around barefoot.
Right.
So it's like our stuff will get done. Like we know we're not going to miss the deadline.
Yeah.
But it'll happen like Sunday night,
Oh.
like right before bed.
2 points to that. I did my personal tax return probably a month ago.
Right.
Completely late. I'm always last. I do mine last.
Right.
Second point, in going when you think old school, right? You had your tax advisor and they were your grandma's nephew's best friend from college, whatever it was. I was just talking to a client, I guess Monday or Tuesday. They're retiring and they're selling their business, right?
Yeah.
And I called them in and I wasn't upset with them, but I was like, guys, you didn't tell us you were going to do this. When are you selling the business? And they're like, we want to sell it in 6 months.
Right.
I was like, this would have been a wonderful conversation for us to all have a year ago.
Yeah.
And these are two individuals that have known me since before I was born. The woman, the wife, she'd worked with my father back in the 80s at the CPA firm that he started at.
Sure.
So we were kind of chit-chatting, and I had said to her, I was like, hey, times are changed. I mean, I said, back in the day when Dad was doing this by himself, my father who's a CPA, I said he went to church with virtually all his clients, right?
Right.
So he saw his clients Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday afternoon. He knew what was going on. When he would go to do that individual's tax return, he knew when their daughter got married. He knew when they had a kid. He knew when they bought a house.
Right.
Him doing the tax return was pretty put together. The big picture things that people don't realize we might need to know about. My father being, actively involved in his church, and most of those people being his clients, he was up to date on a lot of questions. And he would just need to call with a couple things and they would fill in the blank. That's not happening anymore. We have a lot of clients that we don't go to church with. We have a lot of clients that don't go to the gym with me. I have a lot of clients I don't follow on Facebook. I don't know when you have this announcement. If you're not picking up the phone and keeping your tax advisor, your financial advisor in the loop, there is nothing we can do. Yes, we're supposed to meet with you annually. Yes,
Right.
we meet with you from a financial advising perspective. Yes, the tax advisor meets with you annually to do your tax return. So much happens in the middle of this.
Yeah.
So much. And it's just, we just can't. You can't have that expectation on the person. You have to pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm making a change here.
Right.
How's it look? Because the other problem with this couple, not problem is a strong word. The other thing that came up with this couple was the fact that they're looking to sell the business and they're like a couple years away from being on Medicare. So now we got to talk about how they're going to pay for their health insurance.
Right.
And I want to talk about keeping their health insurance as affordable as possible, but it's going to be based on their income. If they're selling the business, the year that I want them to have health insurance with the marketplace, let's just say, I've just skyrocketed their premium.
Right.
So there's a couple things where I'm like, guys, this is why I need you in the door. And I say need, that's probably strong, but we're here to help people.
It's helpful if they come in and if they're proactive with what they're doing and share it with you, because then you can give them a more optimal result.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best part. Our clients that are the most active with us, that constantly give us new information, they update their financials, they go into our portals, they go into our website, the living balance sheet, and they're updating all of their numbers. We know exactly where things stand on a regular basis. So it's so easy to be proactive with, hey, this is where you're at, especially kind of talking about 915 kind of on the other side of our business, being with retirement contributions, 401k, profit share, cash balance, defined benefit. This is the deadline for all of those monies to go in. And there are people that are waiting until today or Monday to make these deposits, or they're trying to figure out when these checks are coming in to make the deposits, or if they line up with the numbers that were 9 months ago.
Yep.
And for us, we're like, what do you mean you don't have the money? Or what, like, where did it go? It was there and now it's not there. And like you said, we're not making magic happen. We're giving them information in a rear view mirror saying, based on what your business did in 2024, this is what you can do in 2025 to
Right.
lower your tax liability. Going into 2025 that we're now 9 months through,
Mm-hmm.
this is what we can do to prevent it in this current year.
Yeah.
And the good news is we get to work kind of 9 months in reverse to figure out, okay, how do we make this math equation work the best for our clients?
Yeah.
But if we have bad data, it's kind of garbage in, garbage out.
I've talked about this, and someone else kind of has used this line. I've heard them speak the same way about this. When the IRS allows you to have these tax advantages, these huge income swings based
Right.
on something you're taking advantage of, it comes with handcuffs.
Yeah.
You don't just get to walk in and say, "Okay, great, I'm going to wipe 300,000 off my income this year." You can. There's rules.
Right.
And so that's pretty huge too. So to your point, we really not that we want people to be showing up in September, but we do need the books to close, right? 2024 needs to close.
Right.
And then we can say, here we are. But that doesn't, negate the fact that we need people to be on top of 2025. Because another thing to even think about, when Trump came in or when the new administration took over, Secure Act 2.0 came out.
Right.
Big changes for us, big changes. And a lot of them were like, okay, here's the change. It's going to happen in a year from now. Or here's the change and it might happen. All this stuff that you don't even pretend to try and figure out because it's like, I'll just Google it on the day so I know what's
Right.
going on. And then now the big, beautiful bill, all these changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back to the client being proactive with us. It's kind of funny now to this day when I'm hearing these new policy changes, I think of individual people that I know
Yeah.
I can reach out to.
Right.
Huge help. Huge help.
Yeah.
And it's just second nature to me. It's like if your friend's going through a problem and you find something that can help them, you're like, oh, I got to call this person. So
Do you do that?
yes, I have everyone's birthdays in my phone. I'll start there, but so I can like at least send a birthday text. But
Yeah.
no, I mean it's true. If I don't know what's going on with you, and because I'm doing my best to stay on top of these things, right? I'm always reading, and we're offering all these different webinars, seminars on policy changes and tax updates, and because everything flows through together, it all is working together. Gotta know a little bit about a lot, kind
Yeah.
of thing.
And it's important to hit these deadlines. One of the biggest things is a couple years ago when interest rates were low,
Yeah.
missing or not paying a quarterly payment or not paying your taxes on the 15th wasn't a huge deal. It was a very nominal amount of penalty. Now it's skyrocketed. I think it's 8% or it was 8% that could be on a 6-figure or 7-figure bill,
Yeah.
that if you're not paying these in a timely manner, people are getting sticker shock of what these penalties and fees are
Yep.
on top of what they already owe.
Uh, I feel it's always been tough because, again, taxes intimidate people.
Mm-hmm.
The IRS intimidates people. You can have a very, very astute, intelligent individual, and you get them in a room talking about tax, and they kind of just shudder because they don't want to mess it up, right? And so these new phrases that are unfamiliar to
Yeah.
people always worry me when I go to talk to someone about tax, because I want it to be a conversation that they understand, right? This
Right.
is their taxes. This is a big deal to them. So when you're talking to someone, you say, hey, you have an estimated tax payment due. The first thing is, I've never done that before.
Right.
What is that? What are you talking about? You've never told me that before. So we have to calm them down.
Right.
First of all, hear me out. The second response is, I've already paid that. You pay that for me quarterly. No, Mr. and Mrs. Client, that's your payroll taxes.
Right.
We help you with your payroll. That quarterly payment is a payroll tax. I'm talking about your estimated tax payment.
Right.
That's something you pay at the personal level. What the heck are you talking about? You've never talked to me about that. Well, last year, based on your 2024 tax return, you owed some money to the IRS. The IRS expects you to be a diligent taxpayer and pay them as you make your money. So quarterly, they anticipate you're paying in quarterly because you should be making your income in, strictly fashion increments throughout the year. You don't just get these big swings in
Right.
December. You've made money throughout the year, client A. IRS says, please pay us timely.
Right.
That's where the quarterly estimated tax payments come in. The problem is, in prior years, CPAs or tax firms may have been a little less stringent on the estimated tax payment because, like you were saying, they're tied to interest rates. The interest rate the IRS is charging you is somehow tied back to what the Fed rate is,
Right.
I guess. And I could be misquoting that, so don't quote me, but it is tied to an interest rate.
Right.
Okay. So back in the day when we're at 0 to 2%, $12 doesn't really scare anybody. If I
Right.
have an estimated tax payment, I don't pay it timely, and I have a $12 penalty, no one's really ruffling any feathers with that. Now, when interest rates are closer to 6, 7, 8%, and my estimated tax payments due, and I have a penalty of $300, okay, well, estimated tax payments are due quarterly, 3 times 4. Now we're at $1,200 for the year, and just a
Right.
penalty. So then you can have the conversation with yourself. Okay, client, you didn't make your $1,200 in payments. I understand, because maybe you felt like I can go take my $1,200 and make more than the 6% interest rate that the IRS is charging me. Maybe that's your argument. I don't know.
Sure.
But it's up to us to make sure that you're aware of all the layers that are involved in owing tax to the IRS every year.
Yeah.
Right.
And understanding it. I think that you get into the world of tax, you get into the world of tax deferrals in our world. Even when we talk about different things like traditional IRA versus Roth IRA, or 401k and profit sharing, the employee side of deferring money versus the employer side of deferring money, even when it's the same person. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
it's all my money.
I know.
I'm like, you're right, but it's very different.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's all my money. I'm like, no, but one comes through payroll, comes through your company. And people just, when you sit them down, they don't fully understand exactly how it works. And they're very, very
know.
savvy people.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to have people like us, or people that understand how this works. Because if you're playing the game without knowing the rules, it's hard. You and I mean, we work very closely together, and we're constantly, I mean, probably more me asking you, but I'm constantly sending you questions. I'm like, does this sound right? Or what is this?
Yeah.
And we have to look it up. Like, there's just
Oh.
so many moving parts that nobody knows every single thing. And as soon as you do know it, legislation changes and it goes into a different window. So it's really, really important to work with people that are constantly being educated. And I think that's one of the things that you and I both pride ourselves on I mean, it's somewhat sad, but in like the late hours of the night, we are very much like ingrained in learning new stuff. It's not like if we can't sleep, we're like out doing like crazy things. It's
Yeah.
like we're exchanging text messages of like, hey, is this really what this tax law is? Or is this really like the contribution limit for this year? Like it's saying it out loud makes it sound really bad.
No, it's
But
pathetic. It's pathetic. But it's, I guess, because I not enjoy, but it's when
but
I'm
we
talking,
do.
well, when I'm talking to a client and
Right.
I say, this is what it is today, or I guess, no, really, someone will come to me and say, hey, this is going to happen to me in 5 years. And I'm like, okay, well, we're not talking about it.
Right.
And they're like, well, no, but I do want to know. I'm like, can't tell you.
Yeah, it's
I
fake.
won't put anything in your head because guess what? You are going to sweat over this. You're going to try so darn hard to understand what I'm talking to you about today based on the laws today. 5 years from now, completely changed. I look like an idiot. You're all caught up in how it was supposed to be, and now now you're confused and just can't even talk about it. Client A, there's nothing we can do. And RMDs, required minimum distributions,
Right.
that age has changed 4 times in the last what 6 years 5 years.
Yeah.
It never moved from 70 and a half. I started the business in 2013 and it was 70 and a half, excuse me. In the last probably 4 or 5 years it's changed 4 times.
Mhm.
So
Right.
now I'm like, wow,
Right.
we'll talk to you when I plug your birthday in and see what the system says because
Right.
I don't even know anymore.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, you throw in RMDs, you throw in the changes to Social Security when you're able to take it, what full
mhm.
retirement age is, what early retirement age is, what the
Distributions from an inherited IRA. That's
right,
another fun one I
right.
love. Never know.
Yeah, there are just so many moving pieces that happen, and all of this stuff is going on in people's worlds, and it's people think of two dates, kind of like April 15th and September 15th as like tax filing dates.
Yeah.
But really, you need to be, as these things are coming up, bringing them to people's attentions
Sure.
because, like the RMD, okay, it's great that taxes are in April or September whenever you file, but you have to take that money out the year before. Like if you
Yeah.
didn't do it, now it's a big deal because now you missed the date and now you're having a penalty and there's
Mhm.
another thing that needs to be cleared up.
Mhm. Well, okay, so back to that, people were taking so if you missed your RMD, yes, there's a penalty for that. If you take money out of an IRA, in the last well, so if you take money out of an IRA, typically there's a couple excuses for it. And I say excuses meaning you're under 59 and a half, there's no penalty or there's a penalty of 10% if you're under 59 and a half. The excuse would be what? Help me here. Your first home.
Yeah, some kind of hardship withdrawal. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a couple exclusions that in the event that you take it, you can get up to a certain amount without a penalty. Now it's
So in the last 4 years, especially for our people here in Florida,
right,
if you had a federally declared disaster,
right, which
you
we
could
are
take money out of your IRA and you could pay it back, or you could take up to $10,000. COVID hardship, you
right.
could take X amount out of your IRA for no penalty if you were under 59 and a half. I mean, these are things where people are in the world more or less just making decisions on their own. And if you just gave us a couple minutes and let us know what you're doing with your money and how, why you need to take the money out, we can help people find these loopholes. Well, not loopholes, but tax
No,
advantage
just play by the
strategies.
rules.
Yeah. And the other big thing is QCDs, qualified charitable distributions. I can't tell you the number of people that miss this. And I don't have any I don't have anything bad to say about anyone's advisor because it's tough. There's a lot of moving
Sure.
pieces. You can't catch it all. I totally understand that. Um, but there were people, that I was working on with taxes last year, going over tax data with people where they would take 30,000 out of an IRA, then they would stroke a check from their pocketbook to their church for 10 grand. And I'm like,
Right. Yeah.
and so but then again, you're dealing with a lot of older people too
Mhm.
sometimes, and change is really difficult, and I totally understand that, and I want to come at it as cautiously as possible. Hey, Miss Jones, I see you wrote a personal check to your church. Can you get your advisor on the phone? Maybe we could do a three-way call and just talk about maybe making a change, or hey, Miss Jones, is your child assisting you with your stuff now? Is there any way we can get them on the phone? And just because it's tough to see this stuff, especially
Right.
when you're aware of it. And like I said, I'm trying to get in front of people just to help.
Yeah. And there's only so many people that even within our client book, like it's great to think that all of our clients are constantly reaching out to us. All the stuff gets done, but there are some clients that it's like prying teeth to actually get the information or to get kind of more of the backstory to help them make the best decisions.
Yeah.
So sometimes clients are just data and they say, hey, we want to use you for financial planning, or we want to use you for whatever piece of business. And we don't get the full backstory.
Yeah.
Some of our clients come in and they go through everything. They walk us through their life, where things are at. They call me when things are good. They call me when things are bad. And it makes it really easy to do the planning.
Data's good. Data can help you make a plan. No problem.
Sure.
Right. But what I enjoy about knowing the backstory is I actually get to know the people, and I can kind of say, hey, I know on paper you're telling me this is what you want to do, but I've met you 4 or 5 times now, and I know the stories we've had and the
Yeah.
things that you like and dislike, and uh, this isn't what you want to do.
Yeah.
You're not going to be happy with me if we go the route that you're telling me to go on paper, because I kind of know you a little better emotionally now. I want to talk to you about this perspective of what we're talking
Yeah.
about, and I think that is where it really comes into play.
A career in financial services is about freedom and relationships, both for you and the clients you serve. By building intentional, authentic connections with people, we not only create an environment where advisors can succeed, but also puts you in control of your future. Financial success looks different to everyone, and it's more about the process than the numbers. If you are someone that is looking to make a difference in your life and the people closest to you, go to the website below and schedule a conversation today. Back to the podcast.
Going back to, without sharing like exact stories of exact clients, but talking about our real things that we talk about. Even this year, I mean, we had worked together for the first couple of years, probably mostly data driven. So before you were even part of our firm,
Sure.
sent you numbers and you like knew who I was through emails.
Sure.
Started working together, and then like that expanded. You moved back, started like actually seeing how each other like live and things like that, and you're like, you're missing a substantial amount of savings on your taxes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. And again, like without really like being like intertwined in my world, you would have never known that through just data or other things. And it wasn't something that was, I don't want to say like missed, but it was just like,
How would I know?
right.
How would I know to ask you?
And again, I mean, now because we're here and we just like see how each other live,
Yeah.
you're like, this is like a potential like tens plus $1,000 savings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, I want that. But again, it's like you and that's us being like,
I'm just around you, right? So I
but
can see.
but even
Yeah.
before, like probably more responsive than most clients. We knew each other. So there was like a personal connection there. But now it's like, okay, we're literally like
Yeah.
running a business together. And unless you're like ingrained in it, like you just have no clue how these other people are running their businesses. And it's just impossible to save every single dollar unless they're fully open and transparent.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I hate to say, like, when I leave the office, I want to leave, right? I don't want to take my work home with me. I mean, that's just false. Like
Yeah,
I'm
it's
watching the news, I'm still reading, I'm catching up, whatever. I'm not, on the phone with a client all night, but I, there's only so much I can do,
right.
right? And there's only so many people I'm hanging out with in my spare time. And to be honest with you, I do talk to my friends here and there about kind of some thoughts I might have for them if it's applicable, but I mean, when I'm hanging out with my friends, it is not business time,
No.
right? I mean, they're my like turn it off
Yeah.
time. So no, you're absolutely right. But since I've been around you more, around Jerry, people in the office, I've even been talking to like some of the younger reps. I'm
Right.
like, hey, I know you're making money now. Have you done everything? I just can't help it. I guess.
Right.
Darn it, it's my fault.
Yeah.
Like, I can't turn it off. I don't know. I can see the faces of the clients that have that light up over the years with the little bit of
Yeah.
information we give them. And that's the win. That's the small win. And that's what I want to relay to like the young reps that we have here that are kind of struggling. I'm just saying to them, you just need one little win
Right.
where you're instilling confidence in somebody else through your own confidence.
Yeah.
And it's not because you're like driven to be successful. It's because you're driven by your purpose to like help these people.
Yeah.
And that little win is huge.
Yeah. I had dinner with a couple reps last night, and they're like, what can we do? What can we do to be better? How can we really make an impact kind of going into 2026? And I go, just keep working hard, keep helping people. There's no like scoreboard.
Yeah.
It's just how you help people, how you impact people. The more people you help, the more people they refer you to. And that's really how you know that you're doing a great job, is whenever your clients that you're doing a great job for are telling their friends and family about you.
Absolutely. No.
And that's kind of the ultimate compliment in our business, is whenever you're doing things like that, and your clients, and we joke, like I joke with you and your cousin, and it's like, we need a handful of slots each year for our top clients.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely.
So we know that there's a capacity issue, but it's like, hey, we have some really good people. We do a lot of work together. Like, we need you to take on a handful of our people each year. And that's something that works out really, really well. But for our clients, or for our advisors, it's, work with people, help them, do the little things. The little things make a big difference in terms of their overall savings and what they have the ability to have long term. And then that makes them better clients and refer more people to us.
Yeah. I think too, for the younger advisors, time is going to be your best friend, right? Yeah. Life experience is going to be your best friend. Your interactions with people, that's where you're going to get a lot of the growth. So in the meantime, while you're only 24 years old, hang out with the old folks,
right?
And see what we're doing.
Right?
Yeah. See what we're doing, what we got going on. And, we mentioned this before, like, you're a business owner, you own a rental property, you own, you're familiar with like the restaurant industry, like you've got your hands in a lot of different pockets, and, that's good for someone young to be around, to kind of witness and just hear you working, just living your life. Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of mistakes that have been made along the way too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we'll do several episodes where we just talk about things that we've invested in that have been phenomenal successes and complete failures. Because that's just the reality of it. So this was really good. Tax time, obviously craziness. Hopefully people put in the comments things that they want to hear about taxes and things that go along with owning a business and taxes, and things that we can help with on the retirement planning side. And again, just general stuff. Like, we're not CPAs. We have a team of CPAs that we work with that really do all of the kind of final signing off on everything. We just give high level advice and let them go to the professionals. And then on the financial side is where we really dive in and do the planning. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
This material is intended for general public use. By providing this content, Park Avenue Securities LLC and our financial representative are not undertaking to provide investment advice or make a recommendation for a specific individual or situation, or to otherwise act in a fiduciary capacity. Guardian, its subsidiaries, agents, and employees do not provide tax, legal, or accounting advice. Consult your tax, legal, or accounting professional regarding your individual situation. Mike and Chelsea are registered representatives, and Mike is a financial advisor at Park Avenue Securities LLC, EAS OSJ 14021, Metropolis Ave, Fort Myers, Florida 33912 239 2900. Securities, products, and advisory services offered through PAS member FINRA SIPC. Financial representatives of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America, Guardian, New York, NY. PAS is a wholly owned subsidiary of Guardian. Alliance Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of PAS or Guardian. Mike CA Insurance License 0M21715. AR Insurance License 5838330. 841854.8.1 expires 9/27.